Purchased for 295K, sold for 2.295 million. Happens every day in property. Guys, stay tuned. We're going to tell you how this happened.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning.
Master salesperson Josh Wapshot, how are you?
I'm good, master of all.
So well done on this sale. So tell us about it. So who bought it? So 2022 Carter in Brookvale, little old factory fella.
Yeah,
How big was the block? It was like 480,
468.
460.
Yeah, 468 meter square block. Just your small little rectangle. It was a bit of an odd one out of the bunch. It had actually a bit of an existing use residential, a 4-bedroom resi at the front. Then you've got a driveway up to the rear where you had a warehouse out the back there. So we had two tenants in the property. And like you said, yes, purchased in 1993 for 295, sold 2.26 in 2025. So it's astounding to sort of see the growth over that time, isn't it?
It really is. So what sort of rent were they getting out of interest? So this is a bit of a different blend because normally for that sort of price, you just get a house rented. What was the house rented for? What was the warehouse at the back rented for?
So roughly about $92,000 a year was your total rent. So the house at the front was paying roughly about $1,000 a week, and then the warehouse at the back around 800. It was around $42,000 for that out the back there. But not to talk the property down, but it was definitely original. House was the old Fibro house, and looks like the warehouse didn't have too many changes over its lifespan. So all very original, but something I'm very passionate about is that freehold or freehold stock within Brookvale. You just look at it and can't love it. So especially with all what's going on in and around Brookvale, it's quite exciting. Would you say, Mark?
All right, look, Brookvale's going to be a it is a hot spot. It's going to be a super hot spot because it's just had some new height allowances coming through, which is going to push those values up. Hey, on this one, what I thought was interesting was if you buy a house for 2.2 million in anywhere in Sydney or let's just say Northern Beaches, you'll probably rent it for what, $1,500?
Yeah, circa 1,500 to 75 grand, and that's what we always tried to say when it comes to commercial
Yeah.
stock is you've got those great rents, you've got tenants that improve the spaces over the time of their stay. You've also got your annual increases at a rate that covers the rate of inflation as well. So in terms of somewhere to park your money, these commercial assets are on the up, and that's why I am so passionate about these spots down in Brookie, because I just think they're gold mines. I'd like to own one just like 20 Carter myself in the short future.
And Josh, if you're buying a house and you're renting it out and it's doing 75K a year, and if you buy a warehouse like this and it's doing 95K a year, that's 20K a year less you have to take out of your pocket to pay the mortgage. Bottom line.
Not only that, generally your residential tenancies are 12 to, if you're lucky, 24 months, where as some big tenant or if you get some good tenant or big tenant in your commercial space, generally they're not there to set up for 1 or 2 years. You're looking 3, 5, 10 years. So you also don't have to involve yourself with the costs in securing new tenants and having that vacancy rate throughout that period. So it's another point there. I find commercial, quite a positive difference between that and residential.
It's a monster. Who bought it?
Local family. Basically, they'd been renting a premises in the area. They would actually look to only use the back half, so it was perfect for them. park their money in a freehold asset like Brookvale, with all the structural plan and changes coming to the infrastructure. So they'll be able to operate out of that back warehouse and supplement the income or the mortgage with the front of that resi spot there for $1,000 a week. So it was perfect for that sort of setup.
And the capital growth was interesting because it was on point, even for a warehouse. Or so some people may say warehouses have better capital growth. Some people may say residential houses had capital growth. I think technically this doubled, then it doubled again 10 years later, then it doubled again 10 years later. So it went from say 300K to 600K to 1.2K to 2.4K ish. So it performed exactly. Residential would have done the same thing in the Northern Beaches or most parts of Sydney.
Exactly right there, Mark. And I think that's one of the big points about it. It's performed really well, and its rentals has performed over the lifespan that owners own the property. So it's been a great asset for him. And now moving on to the next, I think these new owners will really enjoy the space.
And I think people can expect, if you go out and buy a property today, if you go out and buy real estate today in any low stock area in Sydney, where there's not a lot of new sort of subdivisions or new units or whatever in the area, I think you can confidently expect that it'll double every 10 years. But when you put that into perspective, it's quite a huge amount of money, because after probably the first 5 years or 10 years, it would have started washing itself. Yeah. So it would have started, to give you an idea, it would have started, paying itself off. And then for the last 20, 30 years, it just paid itself off and it kept going up in value. So if you can actually, as an investor, get in, and as an investor, if you can just keep buying properties, like, how old are you now, Josh?
27.
So it just sounds a long time when you say 47 and 57. You buy something like this at 57, which is a similar profile to the owner actually who sold it. By 57, there's $2 million of cold hard cash that you're sitting on, and the last 20 years it's sort of paid itself off.
Oh, definitely. And I think that price mark under 3 million in Brookvale, it's like a needle in the haystack. So that's probably seeing the competitiveness on the stock. Generally, your square meter rates are roughly around 3,000, sort of walking their way up to 3,750 for some properties per square meter in Brookvale. We actually sold this place at 4,800 a square meter. So a really
That's
strong
on the
result.
land?
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's quite a strong result, considering the last couple of years over at Brookie, for that bigger stock. So we're definitely seeing a resurgence in that sector of commercial industrial on the come up. A couple of sales, and I know there was we had the 22 chart for Formula 80 back in April as well. So we're definitely seeing some good figures, some good buyers turn out for this type of stock. And even at 4,800 a square meter, where my buyers have purchased the property, I still think it's a good buy. Definitely within the Brookvale as well, I'm starting to see some really big brands, your Anacondas, your BCFs, looking for flagship stores or presence within the Northern Beaches in the Brookie area. So I really think with these new height allowances, more residences being introduced, you got that 1,350 new homes or units on top of Warringah Mall, new bus stops, higher limits. I really think it's going to transform. So even at that price per square meter, I think it's a great buy.
Yeah, and some health spas. It's getting really cool.
Yeah. It is. It's very exciting to see what's potentially in the pipeline for Brookie. So definitely some big businesses coming out of the woodwork and wanting to put their foot down in the area, and I think that's what we're missing. A bit of a refresh up in Brookie, and I think it's to come. So get in while you can. We've actually got 2 other lots quite identical to the one we're speaking about today, 20 Carter. So if this is something that may interest you, you want to have a look and inspection, let us know. 24/7. I'm running 7 days. So happy to get you down there and walk you through the numbers and maybe show you a bit of information on some stand plans that may have got our first 18 meters in Brookvale and show you what the possibilities are.
So if you thought this was a good buy, we've got another one.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Guys, have a great day. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, guys. See you.
See ya. Love ya. See ya. Bye.